All your good morning, neighbor. Good morning, everybody. Morning, 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 and welcome to this edition of Richard's Rant. As you know, the morning is the best time of the day before anything has fucked up. So, welcome to Richard's Rant. I'm kind of impressed with what I got from the one newspaper that I had the time to read today because I find that this a little off even for me. Now I did have some help from my vegetables that well I do inhale them through the mouth. So I am not sure if it's the vegetables that got me to this strange place, but hey, hey, usual articles in the papers, right? It's usual, this person dead, that person killed, this person get raped, the usual. All horrible, it's sad as a society we working towards it, but if it didn't have crime, then it wouldn't have all of the benefits of having crime in your society, and that's why it is we choose to be in a free market economy as opposed to communistic. All right. So the free market economy, you can work and you could achieve and you could attain, and I could thief it, and then because I could thief it, then you have to have defense force, police, army, all those contracts, security systems, phones, pepper spray, firearm license. It's a whole business. Or like Nessa Preppy say, is a scene, is a whole scene. And of course, if it's a communistic economy, then everybody had the same thing. All of we just go down by the parlor and get we one loaf of bread, we container milk and a stick of butter, and that's the end of the day. Party done. So we like it this way. So there's the usual in the newspaper. Choose to become immune to it, just a little bit. However, what I got from it today was that I wonder if it is, society is nothing but a dumbing down. If our quest to fit in and belong, if that archaic, if that, not, yes, archaic, but primal instinct to belong for our safety, to belong to a tribe or community, to make everything an all inclusive band. If it is, that is actually making our species mediocre. So nobody is extraordinary anymore, or allowed to be extraordinary for that matter. You see, there's this ongoing thing whereby in the US they started giving out these participation trophies, right? So whether you pass or fail, whatever you come in the race or event, you get a trophy for participation. People say that that's shit because at the end of the day, you didn't earn it, you didn't win anything. So what incentive does the person that won have to push themselves? And while I can get behind that argument, and I probably did, I am thinking that what the person that would have that won would have is that sense of pride in knowing that they are the best, that they push themselves, and this is something that they can do. This is something that they can bring to the table. This is something that they may be better at for the community than everybody else. But in a world where we do actually need you to participate for our survival, we need it for our own amusement and entertainment. Therefore, everybody should really get a little something to participate because we enjoyed watching the loser get the ass wash. If it wasn't for the loser, it wouldn't have a winner. If it wasn't for the winner, it wouldn't have the excitement, it wouldn't have wherever we watch. So, but that's not the mental that they had. The mental is that, oh God, they're gonna feel bad. They're gonna feel bad that they did well because they did. And you can't push keep. And that don't make no sense because when just you go out into the real world, nobody care about your little pushki wushki. So, I don't know. But I'm not even sure, to be quite honest, how it is I even get this from the people. But this is what I got, right? It started off with the usual, somebody dead, whatever. You know, it used to start with Kamala Say and Rowley Say, but I'll notice it doesn't really start with that much again. No, it's, who dead? This one have a gun, that one have a gun. Man, they can shoot each other for fun. That is a song. Where that come from? I think that come from the herbs. I had liked that song when I was, oh boy, I'm probably the height of a couch. A memory coming back here, yes, people in the middle of the rant, a whole memory just bubbling up here. Me in my little short pants picking flower for who? For four different big ass women. Each one of them used to get a bouquet when the morning come. Damn, I was wet. Look thing. In that era, I had like that song. I used to go over to meet somebody to drop me to school and pick the flowers for the four different grown ass teachers. And deliver it every day with a kiss, of course. Which leads to another memory where the first, I don't know what the hell she was. I don't know what she was. ah, but your boy asked his friend to ask your friend where's your favorite color and then call over the cotton candy man and send a cotton candy, in the color. Used to only get $1 a day. Back then, ladies and gentlemen, a cotton candy was $1, which means I spent all my money for a phone number. And this memory. That's now all of ours. Ah, but that was a serious, legit 200% digress because I still don't know how I reached to where I reach with this feeling of society becoming mediocre. So the newspaper did start with the usual, and then I came across this well written article. I felt like I was watching a Netflix special. This young lady was full of life and vibrancy as she discovered that she was with child. They did not say pregnant, with child. And she had just gotten her HGC assignment, a house, and in that house she was preparing for her new life. Not baby, new life. She was beautiful and just brimming with joy and had that glow of motherhood. And that joy could be felt with anyone that she interacted with by her gait, by her stride, by her smile. Where is she now? She went to work and she did not come back. I was like, damn, this is a story. This is the papers. Because I just read 4 story. Man in La Hakata shoot. Man kill drive by and what some man killed some other thing and that was it. So I was like, okay. I mean, no disrespect to any person that's the subject of the article, but it just made me wonder. But then I observed that it was a part of the paper, like it had a separate label, KNS. I can't remember what the acronym meant. Know yourself. I don't know, but it seemed to be a sort of a feature. So then I would like to think that what would have happened is that because this story happened previously, didn't happen recently, it was 2018 or something like that. The young lady missing for some time. And it's really sad considering, the last picture of her, it did look like she was pregnant. So whoever did whatever would know that she is pregnant. So that is unsettling in many, 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 many ways. So I'm thinking that the reason why it got that sort of a injection of literary I can't find the word, literary prowess, because they dress up the article and all of that, is because it was that feature. But why would we need to dress up an article like that? Why can't we just see, the same article and everybody do what they're supposed to do? And by everybody, I mean the police and all the, how much billion we just give to national security when the year come. This country only have 1.1 million man, woman, and child. The adults is only a quarter million. I believe the ratio between police to adults is like 1 to 20. So, quite frankly, each one of us should have a assigned police officer that we could call. Just like your supervisor in work or your manager, we should have a police. This is my police. I was working with Constable Cunt. No, that's inappropriate. I was working with Constable Chris last year and I did not like him at all. So if you are getting Constable Chris this year, you need to, and everybody should have their officer that you call to work out your issues. But that is not done. So we feel you need to do an extra kind of article. And it's so much of this nonsense happening that is a segment in the paper, right? So, okay. All right. But then later on, I saw what the police was doing. Because you see, what had happened was that we have a 19-year-old sex offender. And it is a good thing that it's not a good thing, but for him, it's a good thing that they don't have the sex offender registry up and running as yet. Because this 19-year-old dude would be on it. Because he's a raper man. Because he was having sex with a 15-year-old girl on the side of the highway. One of my personal fantasies. They actually threw a wet blanket on it because in my fantasy I was never caught. But it was the police that caught them and discovered that the young lady was 15. Which makes it statutory rape, which makes him a rapist, which makes him a sex offender. Now he is 19. Chances are they was friending long before. She did not just jump in his car and jump on himself. I find that curse too much already. I start off I trying to pull it back. I doesn't really curse that much. I think it's the herbs. Maybe I will name this rant. I think it's the herbs. So so happy there was not even a good rant. I'm supposed to be angry. Today was a good day, people. Today was a good day. Apart from one person that know who they is that just tried to get me so fucking vexed. Today was a good day. So, where was I? So chances are that girl wasn't actually raped. She wasn't even mentioned in the story or anything like that. So my thing is that, of course, the statutory rape laws are of paramount importance. Nobody should be TTVing, touching, manipulating, or editing those laws in any way, form, or fashion. However, the law is black and white. Even the computers that we make, they operate with strict programming. But the purpose of having a human interface is for you to use something called your fucking discretion. So as such, I would think that you supposed to assess the blasted situation and realize this is not a raper man. Why would I want to end this young boy's life for doing something that you probably did as well? Not to mention, if we check back with many of our parents and grandparents, we would realize that the kind of catrues that they used to find themselves in. So at the end of the day, did you really need to charge this young man, or did you need to give them a stern warning and explain to them what could have happened, and then direct them to church to learn about abstinence and double palm if it is that didn't work? I mean, for Christ's sake, the boy living with his father, and they didn't talk about the girl. So he and his daddy, they on the Skype Zoom listening to he sex offender. Come now, ma'am. Really? A little discretion, Mr. Ossifer. But the magistrate can't do anything. You see, the onus was really on the officer to do something. It was not the magistrate can't say, well, no, that is not at that level, because then the magistrate have too much responsibility or the office of because remember, whatever they say becomes law. So if it is she ruled that this is bullshit, then everybody that with an underage person, that will become the law. So it was really at the police level. So the police should not get a participation trophy to become a police officer. They needed to, really have a common sense exam as well, in my opinion. This is not the only instance of police nonsense, but it's the one that was in this paper. And then I mosey along and I saw this article. It's the second time I see something like this, whereby the service stations and they want to go solar. So I find that I said it before and I say it again. I find that's the weirdest thing I ever hear, because at the end of the day, I can't be selling gas but using solar to sell it to you. Then is it, it's like this, right? We have a lot of xenophobia that in Trinidad, at least we just water it down to pick on, slander, and trivialize it. But it is xenophobia. So people are afraid of Chinese food, Chinese people. They go get a dog, they go get a cat. It's a phenomenon around the world because they do eat dogs and cats. And now that I'm saying this, or maybe it's the herbs, I'm actually wondering what a barbecue dog might taste like. But in Africa, they do eat dog as well. But the Chinese just out and bad and they're more popular. Africa doesn't have a dog eating festival, but China does. It's a whole scene. But the sad thing about it is that it is lobster the dogs, like boil them in hot water and whatnot alive. And I don't even know how they does do that. I would like to think that does at least take out the dog food culture, because to be you hearing that boiling to that, them people and them. So I believe that is how they catapult themselves to the foremost authority on dog eating and cat eating. But they actually do eat dogs in Africa as well, and to the point that dog meat is actually more expensive than goat meat. Bet you didn't know that. So if you go in the African restaurant, you could damn well be getting dog tail and think it's oxtail. But if it is, you are afraid of going to the Chinese restaurant and you might get your dog and you might get your this and that. And part of that xenophobia is fueled by the fact that Chinese don't actually eat what they serve, in the sense that it's not their main diet, and we don't really want what they just eat either. We don't want it. So it's like six or one, half a dozen of the other. So none of it makes sense. So I never let the dog or thing bother me. Once I get sick, I good to go. But I never get sick, so like I say, I good to go. I mean, they could be giving me rat and all, as long as it's clean and seasoned properly and it tastes good, and I don't know that it's a rat, I am perfectly okay. Ignorance is bliss. Don't quote me on that. Don't give me rats, please. I'm just saying that if it is to happen, life will go on. So, in that aspect, right, what exactly is going on in your mind to sell me gas using solar energy? Well, they say how it is, the world is going in that direction, and something about course cutting and the way of the future and whatever shit. But unless you actually put in the sun, battling sunshine, or at least the energy from it, and having an electric situation or something, I think you're on some kind of shit, and I don't know what it is, but it just looks suspect. It looks suspect. And then too, is because you would be thinking that you had to be the brightest bulb in the chandelier. So, as I say that, that song She Don't Wear No Underwear? The clean version of the song is She Never See a Chandelier. What nonsense. Which is this whole thing with media, right? What it is going on with media? Why it is so much crap people not talking standard English, people not media not even as eloquent as this rant because this have cursing and whatnot in it. But all media seem to have is the cursing. Media have no enlightenment, no upliftment. It's a reflection of the most stupidest, sensitive, at risk parts of society. When did that happen? Why did it happen? And how we can make it unhappen? That ain't right. So I don't know what shit Uniped Brentwood on, but I feel it's some kind of shit. It ain't right to me. It ain't right. But having said that, it is times of Corona, and you could give them the benefit of the doubt that they're simply looking at new ways to do things more efficiently. And I'm inspired by this Netflix series, but it's not a Netflix series, it's an ABC series that I watching on Netflix or NBC, one of them cable shows, and it named New Amsterdam. The dude in that is a forward-thinking individual that, unlike me, doesn't get fired and bat all over the place. So he actually is a director of a free hospital there. And the hospital is free to the patients, but somebody picking up the bill. Most of it is done by investors, shareholders, that sort of thing, right? So he was going over the bills, and they have something called frequent flyers, which are people that always in the hospital. We have them too in Trinidad, but nobody going over the bill. They just live there forever and ever, and then they just die. But in that hospital, they were actually monitoring them. So they had this one particular dude that racked up a bill of $1 million in the last year. Of course, this is in US, so that is like 7 million TT. So he called all the department heads and asked them where they could have cut costs in his treatment, and none of them could have cut costs doing the quote-unquote right thing. But all of his tests and all that keep coming up negative. Things wrong with him because he's a vagrant, but not that amount. Like, he need a little fluid drain from the knee, he need some heart medication, he need to bathe, simple things. So it occurred to the doctor that the reason why it is he getting all these little infections and stuff is because he's a vagrant. So what about if we give him a house or apartment? And he take up himself and even discuss it with his boss and rent the man an apartment off the hospital budget. And then the man, his boss, now ask him, well, excuse, what the whole mother can't, or the mother can't hold, is wrong with you? And he explained systematically where he came from and where he wanted to go. And his boss pat down. And that is why I like the show, because it's a fairy tale. So I don't know if it is Brentwood Uniped thinking outside of the box, but I would not think outside my box to use a competing product. I don't know. For me, that is like going in Courts Megastore and seeing a standards kiosk. I don't get it. But I did like how he came up with that. And then we had the TS Tate hair. TS Tate hair. Always going beyond the fucking call. So apparently, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. But like Gertrude and Myrtle was working in TSTT. They was the first kind of the telephone operators that used to had to chuck the wire in the thing, and they had the phone, the sexy phone that you hold in your hand, and you put the mic by your mouth and you take the receiver off the string and you put it in your ear. I feel that was Gertrude and Myrtle, right? So TSTT tell them, well, we're gonna invest up here, and they say, alright, no seeing bet. Give you $1 million, let me go home and let me just soak in the salt a little bit and relax myself. Let me sit down in the hot tub and thing and just bubble like sauce. And people, Gertrude and Myrtle, went and put together the gear, the sunblock, they went and get a new hip replacement, the fresh teeth, and they're ready for the retirement. But here the kicker, here the fun part, right? Well, it was fun for me. It's not fun for Gertrude or Myrtle, but it was fun for me. I think it was fun for Ethel too. But the judge tell them not only did they lose their case, but they had to pay TSTT legal bills, which is $61,000, which is still $30,000 less than they was paying the last CEO, Mr. Walcott, per month. Don't know how much they pay in the new one, but sugar went up, so yeah. So they have to pay the legal fees of $60,000, and one of the main reasons are because you have not resigned. Therefore, how could TSTT owe you your resignation lump sum? I could not done laugh, Ethel and I sit down here eating sauce, laughing at Gertrude and Myrtle. Because that is the most obvious thing. How you carrying me to court for your resignation settlement and you still drawing a salary every damn month? Come now, man, where you learn that? But that's kind of societal mediocrity. But here the Heights, just to defend them, right? They had the letter, they went to the counseling because you're supposed to be devastated when you're going to get over $1 million to retire. And they said, well, that means that we were supposed to get it, Your Honor. And TSTT lawyer said, no chunkaloons. This was an invitation, not a contract, not an order. You see the Heights? I love it. And these are the things that has make me concerned. Because Gertrude and Myrtle had two fucking attorneys. And why in the ass didn't their attorneys tell them that they own shit? Is it that the attorneys had a quota to make? Or is it that they generally did not learn the difference in contract law between invitation to treat and an actual blasted contract? Or is it that they were stating that because of the vibe of the situation they had a come now man? Is it that they was getting a little kickback from TSTT? I mean, come now man. Or they went to school and got the whole law degree and hopefully not for free. And then all they went Hewooden and all they get to pass the band thing. Come now man, I failed law more than a decade ago. What shipping is you carrying on with? I look at Google search, can I tell you that? Or they know fully well they take advantage of Gertrude and Myrtle because they wouldn't do a little Google search and all they keep telling them, yes, you go get it, you go get a million, Yes, girl, remember TSTT have money, you will get a million, you go get it. Yes, girl. Why are you doing people that? It reminds me of the client that tried to carry me to court. And I sat down and I explained to him all the ways that he would lose, and he still, I think he think we in court all now. He's blocked on my phone. I passed it on to my attorney and I walked away. I have got no report since. I have no idea what's going on there. So, I mean, people, I don't even know what I mean. Because that just... yeah. And then continuing with TSTT, right? Te. They went and dig up some way up in the back of Princestown to the left of Mother Latchme Lotus. And they cause the land to slip. But they tell the people and them how it is. It's not them that caused the land to slip. But remember, they live in that area since they come off the Fatal Rozak. So, they know fully well that the land didn't start to slip until TSTT went beyond the call. Alright, it can't be proven. My thing is, right, if it is you that spend all of these millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in sponsorship, for what I don't know. Trinidad and Tobago already have a 200% market penetration in telecommunications. So I don't know what market share they're trying to get. The same thing like with the banks and what they just be spending like $1 million on advertising and one frequency. I don't understand what customers exactly what they're trying to get still. But these things not regulated. right? But if you go and you get your little sort of money, you have to figure out a source of funds. But they're laundering money all through the businesses and whatnot, right? Yes, and they'll give them about liberty, but it makes sense to you to spend $1 million a month on one radio station to get customers for from where? When it is you already have 150% market penetration, everybody must have a bank account to get paid, except for a few daily paid or weekly paid government workers that just get paid in a little brown envelope still, if that even exists. But anyway, my thing is that why didn't just think outside of the box, right? And take some of the sponsorship money and build a retaining wall for the people. As a matter of fact, what they do was that they come and they remove the cables and stuff that they put down. I think that that was a malicious act because it's like, they bring something to enhance the lives of the people and bring them into the 21st century. The people and them say you cause them a house to slip, and they was like, fuck you. And I find that that was unnecessary. They should have just built a retaining wall. It's not like if they do have the money. I mean, the board of directors could chip up a little 10% of the enormous pay, and they could have built a retaining wall and all, and then talk about how they want to inspire other one percenters or really uber rich people in Trinidad to spend the money like this. They could have started a whole movement, but we're not actually pushing ourselves in that direction. We do surveys and we cater to the most people in that survey. We don't cater to the exceptional and we don't cater to the not exceptional. We just cater to the middle. Whoever is the biggest in the middle. Elections, all of these things just cater for the middle. So it's like maybe we actually on the right path because like I say, I don't even know exactly what I get from the papers today. I just get that thought in my head about how we just do things and it being like, shouldn't we not promote excellence? Shouldn't we not promote exceptional behavior, lift it up and aspire towards it? But at the same time, we shouldn't do that at the expense of others because everybody is exceptional in their own way, in their own talent, and all pieces of the puzzle fit together to build something. But in order to get the full potential out of everyone, you have to really make them feel valued and exceptional. So then perhaps maybe we went too far right, but the world is wrong, so we'll end up left and everything might work out, or maybe we'll balance on the equator. So maybe we ought to be all inclusive, but not in restricting excellence or tolerating mediocrity, but be exceptional in figuring out and telling everybody you are amazing, but you're not amazing at everything. You are loved, but that don't mean that I love all of you. Just enough to tolerate the parts that I don't. You are special, but you are also special. And then you could focus on the things that make you extraordinary. And if we all nurture what actually makes us extraordinary, then wouldn't that be amazing? So you could get your trophy for participating. Yeah, you could get it, but you then excel at what it is you're good at. As you carry out your duties, you understand the bigger picture and your part in the bigger picture, and you do your part real good. You know, that sort of thing. It's good for us to become a community, and maybe we are starting to develop a wholeness as a species. But that doesn't mean that we have to give up what makes us special. Each snowflake is its individual snowflake, but together it's all snow. So that's it for me for this one. Thank you for listening. Remember, subscribe to the vibe, and comment towards our betterment. And just have a great morning. Vibes. And of course, how rude of me, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to my co hosts this evening, the neighbor voice, the dog, and any other background noise that you may have that just makes this more authentic. Vibes.